Good morning. Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Monday morning, January 5th. My dad's birthday today. Happy birthday, Dad. Guys see my dad around? Wish him a happy 29th. Yeah, the years go by faster every year. What's going on, guys? Welcome. Welcome in. Welcome in. How we doing? What was happening? Yeah. Live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Matthew Padron breaking the tape today with the first comment. Ben Bryant, Locke Johnson coming in hot. Alex, Dan, Chris. Yeah. We start sharp at 8 a.m. Ben, I missed you yesterday, I think. I did the Ben Bryant weather report. George Ross is over on Instagram. Good to see you. Yeah. Speaking of weather, although it looks sunny and nice out, although cold, I was supposed to get a couple inches of snow today. So, anyway, Jubal, I know that won't break your heart. Welcome. Good to see you. Wiley, welcome. Good to see you guys. I kind of feel like it's, we're getting back to some normalcy here, right? Monday, the week after the holidays, here we go, right? Today, it seems like, all right, put the tree away, wrap it up here. Enough with the time off and all the other stuff. It's time to execute. All right, time to go back to work, guys. The fun's over. Wendy's friend Catherine was here yesterday. She stopped in. She's a teacher and had a bunch of days off, and she wasn't liking the idea of having to go back to work today. So I can relate. But yeah, it's been a good break. Good way to catch the breath a little bit. Hopefully you did that and kind of recharged a little bit. We only start at 8 a.m. shop on the days I'm here on time. Yeah. Good morning from Denver. Yeah, good to see you guys. Welcome. Thank you guys so much for sharing. It really makes a big difference on reach, I guess, whatever they call it here on the socials. So I appreciate that. If you guys share it or send it out or send it in a DM or whatever, it helps. I appreciate you. So thank you, the guys that do that. Doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully your holidays were good. You got those goals set for 2026 and you're going to start tackling some of that. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Good morning, Catherine Thomas. We're going to talk about implementation, okay? Going from just consuming things to implementing them. Because we all, a lot of us on here, myself included, hop on a lot of calls, watch a lot of podcasts, do the thing, right? You can consume content every single day of your life, and it still may never change unless you do something about it. Because implementation has to happen, right? Information without implementation is just entertainment. Well, I'll jump on Bob's thing. He, cracks a few jokes now and then. They're kind of funny in the chat. I have a good time, and then I go to work. Okay. But entertainment doesn't build leaders, guys. Good morning, Richard Nordheim. Growth doesn't come from what you know, it comes from what you apply under pressure. Okay. Podcasts don't change lives, courses don't change lives. Action taken consistently does. Okay. So that's what I want to encourage you guys to do today. All right. I want to talk about the three traps of non-implementation. One is the dopamine trap. Okay. Feeling productive without doing anything. Right. Yeah. Oh, boy, I listen to that podcast. Boy, Jocko, he's something else. But I listen to David Goggins. Man, I'm tougher just for listening. No. How about the perfection trap? Number two, waiting until it's all clear. It's got to be perfect. The stars just got to align just right before I'm going to take the leap. That's the perfection trap. And the third one, the tomorrow trap. I don't even have to explain that one, right? I'll wait until next week, right? Bubba says, some say knowledge is power. That is false. Using the knowledge is power. Absolutely. Welcome. Where you been, man? Good to see you. Yeah, Wiley says morning standards were upheld. PT weight day, reading, headed to the shop to beat the guys in. I love it. You're on fire, man. I love the spirit. It's good. Done is better than perfect. Yeah, exactly. So these traps don't steal your money, they steal your future, guys. So pay attention, right? The next one I wanted to share with you guys is an acronym called ACT, ACT. And if you just think about, just remember one thing, remember ACT. So the A, apply one thing immediately. There's Wiley, right? Apply one thing immediately. Don't overhaul your life. Pick one action. The C, calendar it. So apply it, calendar it. If it isn't scheduled, it doesn't exist. Okay. And then T, track it. So apply it, calendar it, track it. Because what gets measured gets repeated. Okay. All right. Love it. Yeah. So let's build this a little bit. Let's talk about how to implement. Like it's great if I get on here and say, hey, implement, do your thing. Don't just waste your time watching all this stuff. How do you do it? Okay. Ask yourself this. This is day 10 of this series called Take Your Seat. And I've talked about a whole bunch of things. Ask yourself this from this entire series. What's one standard you will implement first? We've talked about raising standards. Alex says 5:30. I make my list that needs to be accomplished for the day. Started that a couple weeks ago. Now nothing gets through the cracks. I love it. Good morning, Argentina. Yeah, step 2. What day and time will it happen? So step 1 from this entire series, what are you going to change? What's one standard you'll implement first? Step 2, what day and time will it happen? Guys, comment in there. What's that one thing you're going to change? And number 3, who will hold you accountable? Do you have an accountability partner? Is there somebody on this thread that you've connected with that you could reach out to? Say, hey, man, what if we just texted each other, every morning at 6 or at 7 or 5, just to like, hey, I see you. I'm watching. I'm checking in on you. It's not assigning your responsibilities to someone else. It's just a little bit of a mutual check-in. You can say, hey, I see you. I'm going to make sure that I stay on track and that you stay on track. And you do the same for me, because there's going to be a day I don't feel like doing it. And there's going to be a day you don't feel like doing it. Okay. All right. So guys, I hope you'll implement. I hope you'll jump on some of the things that we've talked about over the last 9 days. If you weren't here, we've talked about some things, and they're all on YouTube, guys. They're all on the YouTube channel. Wendy will share the link in the chat if she hasn't already. But you can watch all the videos. And what we talked about was playing small and how that costs your family. We talked about that, hey, I'll do it myself thing, and how that's a ceiling. Good morning, Dave Brackett. Happy Monday. Dave loves a Monday. Talked about how silence trains culture and how operators don't scale, owners do. We also talked about how indecision is a decision and that it kills momentum. We touched on babysitting, right? Hey, I own that adult daycare. Remember that one? And how that destroys leadership. Talked about courage, how courage comes before confidence. And that finally, standards build identity. Okay, you have to have some standards. These aren't resolutions, guys. These are just what you do now, who you are now. Have a standard. One of my standards is go live every day at 8. Do it. That's a standard. You know I'm going to be here. And you know I'm going to beat you in because I have the control, I have the start button. Right? So all of those previous 9 days were preparation. And if you think about it, if you go back over that, spend a little bit of time thinking about it, today can be execution. Today can be deployment of at least one thing. And if that happens with some of you guys, then I'll consider my job done for this 10-day series, okay? So let's get into implementation mode. Let's start tackling some things. Let's not pivot from this to a podcast and then listen to an audio book and think that you're just getting better by virtue of the fact that you're just listening to stuff. You're not. How many of you guys take notes from the books that you read and highlight in them? I never wanted to highlight in a book. I didn't want to ruin it, right? But isn't it for you? I'm like, isn't it for your use and to make you better? Highlight that thing, fold the corners, make it a workbook. Good morning, Dustin Hippensteel. Good to see you. How are you, man? How are things in Florida? We got a couple of Floridians on here. Dave's here as well. Maybe someone else. I think Jess is here. You guys, we got Florida. I wish I had a map where it just popped up where people were. We do have that in our new school community inside the Rosenberg group. So if you haven't checked that out, switched over to school yet, hit us up. We can help you with it. Paul Tarasuk is here. Don't mark the book. Remember that, Ben? Used to make the book covers out of the grocery bags. School books, yeah. Didn't want to mark those, but I mean, hey, if you've bought something that's for your use and you're going to refer back to it, then you want to say, "Hey, I want to flip through that. I want to flip through that extreme ownership book," you know, and highlight and go over the things that had impact on me. Then go ahead and do it. Yin. I bet that goes with. I bet the people who write in a book don't write in a book, and the people that do write in a book are different disc assessments. Would you agree? Good morning. What I miss? Good morning, Michael Moeller Bennett. Good to see you this morning. Learn a little, do a little, learn a little, do a little. Learn a little, you'll be able to do a lot. I like it, Bubba. Good stuff, man. Chris Pierce says, I use Otter and record a chapter at a time and follow along in Kindle and highlight the things there. Yeah. I have to see it several times. Like it's my retention is probably not great. Excuse me. My retention is not great. Not probably. It's not great. Um, yeah. So whatever works for you. Check out the links here, guys. Check out Tyler Kirk's link. It's in here. Wendy's putting that in. If you're struggling with your website or your digital footprint, digital media in some way, Tyler can get you going. If it's social media based and you need help with content or with, you know, increasing your followers or just having a better presence, Bailey can help you with that. I think she's probably put her link in here as well. Don't forget our DSA calls every day of the week inside the Rosenberg group. We're there. We're teaching sales. Bubba runs some of the calls. I run a few. I'll be running today's Mindset Monday call. Richard Nordheim, one of our coaches, also steps in and handles the calls. And occasionally Steve jumps on, Steve Rosenberg. So who, as a matter of fact, will be joining us shortly. So don't hesitate to jump in. If you want to have a conversation, if coaching you think is in your future this year and you want to have a conversation about what it looks like to join us, hit me up. DM me, DM Bubba, Richard, Steve, doesn't matter. We'll get you going. We can have a conversation about that, set you up for what we call a discovery call, and you can ask questions and we can tell you about the program. Okay. There's my sales piece for the day. So we were talking about ice houses. I'm late. Start over. Yeah, I got those two comments backwards. Yeah, second time I read a book is much more helpful. Right. Isn't it funny how you kind of miss some things? Yeah, feels wrong. Been told not marking books my entire life. Yeah. And I think that probably comes from days when they only had so many, right? And you had to pass them around. But I mean, you've got them in. I've heard somebody say that they listen to it while they read it. That's another way to go about it. So, mint condition, Yin says, I'm touchy about it. Very protective of my books. I actually am too, but I do have a few that I've kind of written in and highlighted, and I like that. So, but yeah, I don't know how we got on that, but so I'll highlight the second pass. Richard says, yeah, for sure. I'll ask Steve when he gets on. He's coming on just a couple minutes. So, guys, if you want to bang around here a little bit for this morning and say hello to Steve, hang on just a minute. He'll be in at a quarter after. Good to see so many of you guys. And again, I want to appreciate and just share with you guys that when I jump on and I see, wow, 7, 8 shares or 10 shares, it's awesome because along with that is the amount of people that see this, just not even in this block of time, but over the course of the day. And I got a note from a woman that I knew in the triathlon world several years ago that sent me a nice note last night. She said she watches, she loves the message, and hey, I do this, that, and the other. So I'll be sharing her stuff probably tomorrow on here to help you guys out too. So you just never know what where it can take you or who we can connect if we just share it out. Okay, it's not all about me. Okay, it's the 1400s here in our house. Protect the books. They're priceless artifacts. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, you can still take notes, right? Still take notes and write down things that are impactful for you. Sharon's Karen. Thanks, Ian. Yeah, you guys share all the time. I appreciate you very much. So, guys, what's on tap this week? Who's got one standard they're committing to and upgrading this week? All right. I didn't see. I saw a few in the chat. Wiley's got some stuff going. Alex, how's Bill doing? I didn't get a chance to talk to him over the weekend, but I'm going to give him a call this week. You said you were going to see him. Pop in there how Bill Gustafson's doing with the new knee. Getting around a little bit, I hope. Yeah, for sure. So, whew. Yeah. I had kind of a around the house day yesterday. We got the tree down, put that away. I'm scanning. You ever take all the Christmas stuff down, and then you look around and you forgot that wreath on the front door and all the boxes. But wait, damn, we're gonna get the wreath or the little thing on the windowsill, the decoration you didn't put back in the box. Now you got to get everything out again. So I'm scanning and sweeping for all the Christmas stuff, and I think we got it all. It'll be about a couple of weeks, and I'll look and I'll see something. Go, whoops, we forgot that one. Yeah, Lee, you mentioned that yesterday, starting Tony Horton today. Good luck with that. Don't go too crazy too soon. Start easy, right? Yeah, for sure. Bill's doing well. Alex says on one crutch. He says he's gonna try to come in midweek. That's great. Josh Baker, good morning. Good to see you, buddy. Happy New Year to all you guys. It's 2026. Remember when you started, I used to write a lot, or if you wrote checks or whatever, the whole month of January, you'd be writing the last year on the check. Damn, scratch that out, right again. Not so much anymore, is it? Yeah, it's gonna kill me. Well, make sure you can get there for day 2, Lee. All right. It doesn't make it's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, so jump on there and go easy. So yeah, for sure. Looks like Steve coming in. We'll get him added to the stage here and say hello. Happy New Year, brother.
Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good. Yeah, it's been a while. We've been in Germany and all over the world.
I've been doing a little bit of traveling, yeah, and I seem to have lost my voice somewhere in transit. I know you're sad to hear that, but I may not be able to talk as much.
Stand by for the wise crack from Bubba.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, good. Well, how was the trip? You were over there a while.
Yeah, we were there for 9 days. It was a really really good trip. It was as you can imagine, a little fast and furious. Probably should have taken a few days
Yeah.
per city, but man, it
Right.
was there was a lot. There's so much history there, so much to see. Spent New Year's in Salzburg, Austria, which was really really cool town.
Nice.
A lot of history and stuff like that. So it's a good disconnect.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good too. And I mean, I know you get there a bunch, but you're working, right? So you're there for 24 hours or 36 and then back. And so you kind of maybe get out for a meal and a beer and or something or whiskey and then kind of you can't stray too far, right?
Yeah, and all the downtime obviously gives you a lot of time to think, right? Which
Yeah.
is which is good and bad, right? Because you're trying
Right.
to be present in the moment of enjoying everything, and you're trying not to let your mind wander into work and all the stuff that we have that we're launching and everything. So you're just like, oh, what if this goes wrong? How do I? And then you gotta go, okay, just I gotta box
Yeah.
that up, compartmentalize that, put that over here for now. And that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been from my end too, just kind of I mean, we didn't completely stop, but just throttling things down a little bit was good. I was saying to Wendy this morning, I'm like, all right, time to buzz the tower, as they say. Time to get back. I could kind of feel it. I was like getting out of the shower, like, all right, okay, time to go. And
Yeah.
because it like until this day, this Monday after get the Christmas and the New Year's and all that, until you get it's feel like, all right, we got everybody's attention again. It's time to go. Everybody's now pulling on the rope, right?
Yeah, it's like it's game day, right? It's like, okay, the hype is over. Like, look, I got two lists of things that I got to do
Right.
um in the next couple days. So it's like, all right, it's like I just get I get I don't know about you, but a lot of or other people, but I get quiet and I get very focused.
Yeah.
And I just start like knocking things off one after the other. Just very intentional, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, we've spent a bunch of time the last 9 days talking about just, taking your seat at the table, leveling up as a leader, and doing the things that you need to do. And to that end, today I was, before you jumped on, talking about implementation and
Okay.
how sometimes we just, just devour content and personal and business development stuff, but um, sometimes it doesn't get implemented. And, what would you add to that, to encourage somebody to say, hey, man, like, it's time to go. It's time to do it.
Yeah, look, I think there's the good thing about, social media and all everybody being an expert and, YouTube is that information is readily available, right?
Mm,
So, but you don't see the increase of the success of people in relation to the amount of information out there. It's not linear, right? So you've got to
right.
ask yourself, okay, there's more information, and most people are just regurgitating information that they've learned. Maybe they're compartmentalizing it or they're internalizing it and then pushing it out to way they would say it. But
Right.
essentially, there's only so many things to do, right?
Hmm.
And so I always think to myself, like, if there's so many more people that have information out there, why aren't there more people successful as a result? It's because information without implementation is just entertainment. It's
Right.
not
Yeah.
transformational. And so I don't know about you, but I think that at some point, I was listening to a podcast, and the guy was talking about his morning ritual, right? And he was like, "Man, I just can't seem to get things done," And he was
Hmm.
going on and on and on. And he's like, "It takes me 3.5 hours to get my morning ritual done." And he's like,
Right.
"Dude, if you spent half that time and just fucking got shit done for the hour and a half, by the end of the week, you would have gotten so many hours done by the end of the month." He goes, "Think of you like you're becoming a data junkie instead of an implementation expert." I think is the
Right.
what challenges people.
Yeah. It's you see that sometimes with events. People just go to events, go to events, go to events, come home, stack the book on the shelf, and never have to look back at it. So-
Yeah, and I think that, look, we get a lot of people that, they'll say like, "Oh, when I do this,
right.
when I read this book, when I,"
Right.
it's like, dude, it has nothing to do. You already have the information. Most people could go to the gym and figure it out, but they don't
Mm,
because they don't have accountability and they
right.
don't just walk into the gym. That's the biggest problem is putting on your shoes, getting in your car or going, into the gym, whatever, wherever that is, and doing it. So
Mm,
it's not information. It's not lack of information that's causing people to fail. It's their lack of implementation integrity, meaning
yeah.
the accountability. Like, look, I think that what you do, with the 365 is so amazing because you basically held yourself to a higher standard. Nobody said, "Hey, Bob, it's 5 minutes till, man. You got to get on, bro." Like,
Right. Yeah.
nobody told you that the whole time. You just did it.
Sure. Yeah, those days where it's tough, or days where we like to hike, so we're like, well, we're leaving here at 4:30, like to get to the mountain at 6:30, so we can hike all day. So when am I? It would be, or Wendy would say, when are you going to do your live? And I would say, well, I guess I'm doing it at 3:30, and it's going to be live, and most people will watch it on the rewind. But it checked the box, and that sends a message too, like we're not playing, we're committing to it, we're going to do it. It's the standard, and it's not like I've said it before, it wasn't a goal to do it every day in 2025. It was a standard. It was just, this is what I'm doing. And Ben Bryan, we start at 8 a.m. sharp every day. Yeah, but and as such, have kept going and kept going, and just going to keep trucking, because now
Yeah.
it's just part of what I'm doing. It helps me. The big secret is it helps me as much as it helps anybody. You know.
You said something interesting, Bob, that I think people need to think about is it's not always good to have a goal. And
Right.
this may sound weird coming from someone like me or you, but think about it. If let's just take your situation. If your goal was to do 365 and you hit that goal,
Hmm.
today you'd be sitting there going,
Yeah.
"What the fuck do I do now? Like,
No, but
what do I do today?" Like, everyone's going to be like, "Oh, that was that guy." And you're
yeah,
gonna be like, and you're gonna be wearing the 365 Letterman jacket of 2025, going, "Hey, that was me, guys. That was me." And they're
I
going,
got I got
"Dude,
my
it's
ring.
2020. Yeah, I got my ring, And but there, it's like it's 2027.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. So
Yeah.
I think what you hit on something that I think is very important for people to learn is don't always have a goal, have a
Mm,
standard. And you say it all the time, and I listen to what you say, and I think it's so true because there's a lot of knowledge in what you tell people to do that they may not be getting, that
yeah.
you're living. You having a goal, once you achieve that goal, the two people, I guess you could say, or types of people that have the most depression are Olympic athletes and astronauts.
Sure.
Why? Because you can't go back to the moon once you've made it. You can't win
Mm,
another gold medal. I mean, you can obviously, but at some point you will no longer be winning gold medals. And they have
yeah.
the highest rate of depression because it was a goal and now that goal cannot be achieved. So
Yeah.
you got to be very careful achieving goals. I know when I sold my business, that was a goal. after I
Right.
sold it, you're like, what do I do now? Like, I mean, it's like,
Nobody
okay,
else
like
is retired.
nobody else is retired, no one else is fucking off. So what do I
Yeah.
do? You know, and
Right.
it's very it's very you want
Yeah.
to be very cautious of that. I would say. So I think what you're saying is so spot on that people really need to think about that. If somebody says, I want a goal of, losing 10 pounds. Okay, but what happens after that?
Right.
That means it's kind of like when somebody says, I'm not a smoker. I think one of the biggest challenges is like, I don't smoke anymore. Sorry, when they say
Mhm.
like, hey, I'm going to quit smoking.
Yeah.
What they're saying is they're really a smoker and they're just pausing that. I don't
Mhm.
smoke weed. I'm not going to smoke weed for 30 days. I'm not going to eat candy. So you're basically saying I'm really that guy, but I'm trying to give myself a little
But right now
bubble
I'm
so I
not.
don't. As opposed to saying like, no, I don't shoot up heroin. That's not what I do. Like I don't do that
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
You don't say like, hey, I'm going to take about a year. I'm not going to shoot heroin, and then next year I think I'm going to give it a shot. You don't
Yeah,
do
I
that,
read
right?
a
So
thing yesterday as
standard.
a guy that was, saying it was, "I don't drink," or, he had a battle with alcohol, got done with it, but it wasn't until he started identifying with the fact that he just doesn't drink versus, "I used to drink. I'm not
Yeah,
drinking right now." So, to your point, but back to the goal thing, I think a great example of that is 75 hard, right? And 75
yeah,
hard, a lot of folks miss the boat when the intention of the program is to establish a new standard,
yeah.
not make it 75 days, have a party and some cake and ice cream and beer afterwards because you did it. And if you ever want to know how Frisella feels about that, listen to the episode about, I don't know which one it is, I could find it. He goes off on like people missing the point of like the purpose of the program was to establish a new standard, to get rid of the old things. And I would say, like, back to your point about depression, I experienced that with the Ironman stuff where you train hard for this goal, and afterwards, usually about 2 weeks after you were done, there would be this deep dive, deep depression, right? Because it was over, you reached the goal. So that's why when I was in it and doing it kind of on the regular, I always figured I could get ready for a race within about 12 weeks. So it wasn't like I've got a goal at any particular time. It was I am an Ironman triathlete. So I could, if we wanted to pick a race, we could go do that. Runners, same thing. So it kind of was staying like with the engine revved, not, well, I'm going to get this done, and boy, I'm going to go on vacation afterwards and eat myself silly, right? So yeah, consider that, guys, today as you go forward, the difference between a standard and a goal. Okay.
Well, and to your point, Bob, I talked to Lee Labrada about this a lot, and we talked, and he was in the Mr. Olympia 7 years in a row,
Hmm.
and I said, what did you do that eighth year?
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, that's a good question. He goes, I sat at home and I watched it, and he goes, it was the weirdest feeling. Like
Mm,
I should be at least there in
right.
this in the
Yeah.
behind the scenes with the other competitors, and he's like,
Yeah.
I wasn't there, I was at home, and he's like, it really throws you because that's not my life anymore, and now I had to transition and set up new intentions with the new life, obviously doing the supplements and stuff. But you think about that, right? That's how you made your money, that's how you lived, that's how you
Right.
everything, that was who you were. So I think that a lot of times when people own a business, they and just going back to the goal thing where they set a goal inside of the business. And
Mm,
listen, I am not someone that believes in balance. I don't think that exists. I think you have to be intentional, focused, and then you pivot. But I think a lot of times with entrepreneurs, we set inside of our business having this goal and we live in that business, and that's our identity, just like you were saying with the Iron Man. And I don't know if you see it, but if all of a sudden something goes wrong with that business, or God forbid they sell it, right, and they achieve that goal, which is kind of the goal they talk about but they don't really do. It's
right.
kind of like, if it happens it'd be great, but secretly they're really wishing it would happen.
Exactly.
um but then they're like, who am I now? Like, what do I do? And I think that's a it's a it's a good problem to have, but it's still a problem, right? A problem,
Yeah.
if you I've always learned that if you have money to solve a problem, you don't have a problem. Use the
Mm,
money because that's just a tool. Um, but I think a lot of people, they start off the new year, right? This is the first week of January, right? I
yeah.
was at the gym at I got up at 3:30 and we were there about 4:15 this morning.
Yep.
Um, and gym was crowded, packed. Here we go.
You're in the
All
right
the
room. Yeah.
There we go, and everybody has goals. And when they don't achieve those goals or they get punched in the face once or twice, now they're like, fuck, man, that hurt. What am I going to do
Yeah.
now?
Right. Yeah. Well, good stuff. Well, man, I'm glad you're back. And here we are in 2026, and we got some new stuff going on inside the Rosenberg Group, right? So
Dude,
I know
we
you.
we we have a lot of stuff, brother. Oh man, we are coming out swinging.
Yeah.
We have the new school app, right? That's for people that are current clients. There's already conversations in there. And Bob, by the way, I was going to ask you, I'm thinking of creating a workout group in there for accountability
Absolutely.
of people working out, like we all do, right? We all do
Yeah.
stuff. So we have the school app, and people are already engaging. The DSAs and everything are going to be running through that app, group coaching calls, and then I mean, tons and tons of content that I've been creating for the last 9 months. Workbooks are being printed. They're at the printers right now. They're getting print ready. And then what I'm excited this week, man, is we're doing our 101 classes. So I will be doing the first one, Real Estate 101, about why own real estate. There's 5 reasons people do or do not buy real estate. And these are the reasons that you should always covet and protect as a real estate investor. So we've got the 101 classes. We've got Contractor 101, how to teach your VAs and how to get your VAs more involved in the contracting business. We have Systems 101, how to systemize your business. And then we've got Accounting 101, learning financials, P&L, forecasting. This is something that we created for the group. So basically, they're going to be at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time every Wednesday night. And man, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of momentum. We got Job Trade Connect next week.
Yeah.
Then we got Techo Block in Raleigh, Durham. So we are coming out swinging. Then my 2-day event at the end of the month.
Yeah. End of that. And then right around Valentine's Day is the our ground school event, which is for all of our current clients. Where you can come, bring a whole team if you want. And we're going to pour in on this one's on just Q1, so it'll be marketing.
Yeah,
2 day.
Q1 will be marketing. And don't forget, the people that signed up at Mach 5 or the Pond event or the other things, we have Founders Day. So that's the day before ground school that I'll be doing a deep dive in them, in their business, that they're going to get a day with me, deep diving down and dirty. So we are coming out swinging, man. There's a lot of shit we've been working on behind the scenes, busting at the seams. And we are a product of the product. You and myself. I may start doing a couple lives in the afternoon. I know you do them in the morning, so I may pop in a couple in our Facebook group and do a couple lives, and just kind of.
I was looking at
knowledge.
School this morning, and when I was a year ago when I was doing my stuff with School, I couldn't just post a video. You'd have to post a Vimeo link to it and all that. It looks like they've cleaned that up, because I tried that this morning. I deleted it because I was just farting around with it. But it looks like you can post a video, so we'll be doing that stuff. And I think I may misspeak here, but I think you might be able to go live from School, so we can do stuff inside the community as well. So I'm having fun playing around with that, guys. The engagement in there is gamified, and of course I'm number one as far as the
I think I'm level 4, by the way. I think I'm a level 4 now.
It just makes it fun where, hey, the more you engage, higher up you go on the leaderboard, which is just kind of fun because nobody in that group's competitive at all.
No.
But anyway, so good stuff.
What's kind of cool, Bob, is that we, from us doing work with Hermosi and with their whole acquisition team, and you and I and Valerie getting out there and doing it, we kind of, there's a bit of a connection with those guys, they created it. We know them now. I got a couple text messages from a couple of the guys that we were out there with, over the holidays, and it's kind of nice. It's like, okay, we're not. I mean, we're clients. I get it, but we're also a little bit more in depth there.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Dan Bennett asked, should we expect an email with instruction on how to get on School invites to the 101 calls? So, but we've got emails going out this week, I think, right, Steve?
Yes, they may have already been out. Dan, you may want to check your spam. It is very, very intuitive. but they may be launching them this week. But for those of you that don't know how, it is a very, very simple app. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very easy. I know people are logging on and getting on, so I know
Yeah.
there must be emails that went out, I guess, Bob, is my
Yeah,
point,
Yin
because
said
people
she
are
got
logging in.
hers. They got theirs. So Dan, check your spam, check your junk, and just go down
Hey,
through it because it doesn't always come.
dude, even Dan's brother Tim got on. Come on, Dan.
Come on, Dan.
Come on, man.
And probably I haven't checked yet, but our technical director Richard may have actually gotten on. So
Whoa.
you weren't here a couple days ago. Ben dubbed him the director of technology or something like that.
Fitting.
Richard's been taking it hard in the chat, but we love him.
Yeah, Richard's awesome.
Dan says, "Whoa, shots fired."
We're gonna be hanging out with Dan, or not Dan. I'm sorry. We're gonna be hanging out with Rich in Raleigh, Durham, in a couple weeks.
Yep, for sure. And so yeah, looking forward to getting things fired up this year. Glad you're back. Let's kick some ass, take some names. We don't usually sell on this, but Steve, as we wrap up, I'm just going to throw this at you. I didn't prepare you for it. What would you say to somebody? And a lot of people watch this on the rewind. They may not even comment, but what would you say to somebody that's considering getting some coaching?
Well, I think that, listen, and I'm not advocating you signing up for us, because we may not be right for you. So I believe that you have to align with the people that want to get you to where you want to go. If you want to follow success, just follow the path of someone who's been there. If you're, I think you got to do some really self-thought, in the sense of saying, like, am I where I want to be in life? Do I know how to get there? And do I even know what that looks like? Do I even have an idea? What is the success? How do I define success? It's a day, a month, a year. It's a revenue amount. It's a profit margin. And it's a freedom time that you have to go create memories. If you're not there now, do you know how to get there? Because if the answer is no, how are you going to magically figure this out? The answer is you're not. We all know it. It's going to be another year of living paycheck to paycheck. It's going to be another year of stressing. What if you got into a group? And again, it could be our group, it could be any group out there. It doesn't matter. But get with a group that you align with that can get you to where you want to go. Follow the path of people that have gone down this walk, that care about you, not just taking your money. Because listen, there's fucking a ton of people out there that will take your money and you'll never hear from them again, or you don't get to talk to them type thing, which I think is BS. But I think what you need to do is you need to make sure that you understand, where do you want to go first, and then figure out who aligns with you to get there. Because look, 2026, I'm calling it the year of turning the page, the year of new. And there's a lot of new stuff coming. And the question is, if you're doing the same thing you've done the last couple of years, expecting a different result, that is the definition of insanity. And I don't think that is, you don't want to be having the same conversation January 3rd or 4th or 5th, whatever the date is, next year, 2027, going, well, maybe this year, because what you've lost is your most precious asset, which is time with your family, time with your loved ones, time to create memories. And I just think that by doing that, you're actually being selfish. And I'll just say it, you're being selfish, not giving your family and your loved ones your full attention, because you're too pig-headed to think that you can do it yourself. And I've been there. Bob, I'm sure you've been there too. We've all been there.
Oh yeah. Don't want to ask for help.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't need that. That's for sissies. I don't need that. But you gotta ask yourself, what's better, having the life you want or watching other people live it.
Yeah. Dave Davis says, I'm glad I got involved with the Rosenberg Group. I feel community is one of the most involved I've been with. Hey guys, and if you're like, oh, I can't afford to do that, find out, give us a call, talk to us about it. But also, on the free side, you can show up here every day, but also you can join our Sales Accelerator group on Facebook, Sales Accelerator Academy. School is now in session. So if you look at that, I also put a link in above, and I'm above Richard's comment. I'm not sure if you can cut and paste that, but if you want to join our Facebook community, start there. All right. And get involved. Okay. 2026 is writing a new book, and you already know the plot, Ian says.
Oh, I like that. That's good. Good job, Ian.
Well, thanks, man. I'll let you get your voice back. I appreciate you. And guys, if you're part of our daily Sales Accelerator program, or you would like to be, I'll see you on the Monday Mindset call today. If you're not part of it, hit me up with a DM. We'll get you a link. I'm sure Wendy put one in here anyway. She does every day. And yeah, guys, go forth and conquer. Have a great day. Lace them up tight. Take no prisoners, as I say. Steve, thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. Nice job as always,
All right.
man. Good to see
Thanks,
you on
man.
year 2.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.